Hello, Sipsters, and happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another episode of the Sippin' on Stories podcast. I'm Mandy Corey, your host, and I'm so delighted that you're here with me today. We have probably one of the most on-brand guests, I would say, for this episode. As you know, I ask every single guest what their favorite drink is. I also named this podcast Sippin' on Stories for a reason, and that's because I love drinks. The guest today is Amy, and she is one of the owners of a soda shop here in my town. And she basically tells us how the soda shop came to be hers, if you will, and what that whole experience has been like. And it was just great. Amy was a really fun person to talk with and interview, and I hope you all enjoy this episode. Before we get to the interview first, I have been asking for Christmas stories for my Christmas episode. What I would love is to hear what your most special Christmas memory is. If you have one, or something that happened to you or that you did that made one Christmas season extra magical, really brought in the spirit of Christmas, if you will. If you would go to my Instagram, you can DM me. It can be short, it can be long, it doesn't matter. Or go to my email, sippinonstoriespodcast@gmail.com, and tell me what that is. And I would love to read some of my listeners' most magical Christmas memories. And I'll just compile them. All right, on to today's episode. I just love drinks.
I was like, I'm assuming you're a drink girly if that's the name of it.
I am a drink girly. So I'm like, how can I play this into it? So one of the other things I do is every episode, my icebreaker question, I ask everybody what their favorite drink is. And I'm like, that's
a really hard one for me.
You have all the options. So I'm very curious what your choice is.
I mean, I could give you 8 million options.
I'm sure. What is the one that you brought today?
So mine is a White Monster, fresh lime, no rind. I'm very, very religious about no rind in my drinks. Raspberry pineapple, and I top it off with Fresca. So it's actually a tart drink more than anything.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm addicted to it.
Is that, would you say, your favorite, or what is
I would say it's my comfort drink. That's the one that I reach just when I don't know what I want to drink.
This one's my comfort.
And that's such a good one. That's one of my others. If I'm not feeling Monster, it's Dr. Pepper with the vanilla and the coconut cream. Mm-hmm. Good choice. Excellent.
It is. It really is. Sometimes I'll mix it up. Go raspberry and the coconut cream, which is also good. But this is just I can drink this every day. It's not too much. It's just delicious.
Pretty much anything with fresh lime coconut cream is a good mix. Diet Coke, excellent.
Lime coconut.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper, so good.
Yes.
So I don't know. I drink a lot of different things.
Yeah, it's fun to mix it up sometimes. Okay, I'm going to do a little intro.
Okay.
This is very on brand for the podcast today, I feel like. We have Amy, who owns Pick Me Up Drinks.
Yes.
If you're listening in Southeast Idaho area, you're probably familiar with Pick Me Up Drinks. A lot of my listeners are probably very familiar.
Wonderful.
Yes, local and familiar. If not, they are a popular soda shop in my town. So she's going to come on, and I just want to know kind of how it started. As we were saying, I love to know all the details of all the things. And starting a business seems so overwhelming to me. I have family that started, businesses and things. But I'm very curious just how it came about to be all the things. So if you wouldn't mind sharing.
Where would you like me to start? Because we've got, I can start from me and Zach getting married, because it's been kind of a continuous journey for us.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because I also am curious, have you always had the passion for entrepreneurship? All the things.
So such good questions.
So just start from the beginning and
okay.
I'll let you lead.
Yeah, so I grew up here in Southeast Idaho. I went to BYU in Provo for college, and I was convinced that I was going to be a mechanical engineer.
Oh, wow.
I stand by that I could do it, but I got into my first drafting class and decided I did not want to do it.
Get that.
It sounded better in theory than it actually wasn't, And so I switched my major to marketing as kind of a easy out, I guess I would call it, just because it seemed like something that well, if I'm not going to do mechanical engineering, I need to find something that I'm good at. And I've always been a kind of creative spirit. So I thought marketing will do. So I switched my major and just, it didn't feel right. I don't know how else to explain it. College wasn't for me.
Okay.
I was not good at college. I was an excellent student in high school and got to college and just, it didn't click. And I didn't have a passion for anything. And so I was about to move home and I was going to be a dental assistant. I had a friend that was doing dental assisting and she loved it. And so I was like, I'll just go do that. And right before I moved home, I met Zach in Provo.
Okay.
And so we had a very typical Provo dating marriage situation.
Married in 2 weeks.
Like, no, you're joking. Like, I know you're joking.
But also
we
serious.
knew each other maybe 3 weeks before we had like our date picked, which is insane. We weren't engaged yet, but we had our date picked.
It is typical.
Engaged within like, let's see, 6 weeks and then married by May kind of thing. So this is January to May is a whirlwind, LDS romance kind of thing.
Yes. My husband, we met in high school, but he got home from his mission in November. We pretty quickly had a date, proposed in January, married in March. Like, it is what it is.
And this is my word of caution to anybody maybe younger that is listening. I am the exception, not the rule.
I feel the same.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Date for longer, be engaged for longer, get to know the person you're marrying.
Get to know yourself maybe a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was 20 years old but honestly at BYU, I felt like I was an old maid. I made it through my freshman year without an engagement and I was devastated, which
nobody likes me.
I really felt that way, which is so silly. I look back now and I'm like, girl, you were crazy. You were insane.
Yeah, I feel you.
But it worked out okay, right? Zach and I met on Facebook. He sent me a friend request. I thought he was cute, so I accepted it. And we ended up living across the street from each other in Provo. Our first meeting was me going over to his apartment to watch The Office. Like, I'm telling you, this is like prime 2010 Provo romance.
It is.
It's a tale as old as time. But we immediately clicked really big, really well on just our dreams for the future. We both are very, very driven and we both have big ideas and like just dreams that we match on really, really well. And so we didn't know what we were going to do, but we knew we were going to be good at it. And so we went through our very poor newlywed phase. We were literally sleeping on the wood floor of our apartment that we could barely afford in Provo. Zach was doing security systems, which it is
like
what it is.
Going door to door.
So he would do the summer sales, but then during the year he would do more like I'm trying to think of the right words for it. He would go like fix systems. He'd do like maintenance kind of stuff. So alarm companies would call him and say, hey, go fix this sensor or whatever. And so he built a small company doing that. Him and his best friend were, working with alarm companies, and they built their own alarm company in Colorado that they eventually did some summer sales for. And that's kind of how we got started. I was always working either restaurant jobs, hourly jobs. I worked at a bank for a while. And then we ended up getting pregnant with my first. And that's kind of when we took that step back and we were like, okay, now we have to be adults.
You have to figure it out.
Yes. Now we actually have another human being that we have to take care of. I knew I wanted to stay home with her. And so Zach got into real estate. And so we started in Utah. He worked for his dad. And then we moved out to Colorado and worked with a really, really good family friend named Mark Despain, which I think Mark and his wife, Crystal, are a big part of who we are, just because we met them Zach's known him his whole life, but I met them at such a pivotal point in our marriage and life where we looked at them and we thought, we want to do that. We want to be pretty free to hang out whenever we want. We want, the freedom of what success brings you. We looked at them and we thought, look at the financial freedom that they have, look at the time that they spend together, look at how cool they are with their family. They have, I want to say 5 boys. And it was so fun looking at what our future could look like.
Yeah.
Kind of getting that glimpse of okay, we can do this. Because I think everybody goes through that minute, especially when you're entrepreneurial, of can I do this? Will this be successful for my family, or am I going to end up working, working somewhere that I'm miserable because I have to, not because I want to.
Yeah.
And so that kind of propelled us forward. I will say that doing real estate in Colorado was good for us.
Is that where Zach is from?
Zach is from Colorado originally, yeah. And so we had kind of gone back to his hometown and where he was from, and Mark taught him so much in real estate. It was wonderful. we have such a deep appreciation for that time that we had there. And we've kind of bounced around a lot, Zach and I have, since the beginning of our marriage, but it's always been, we like to say we're failing upwards.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
We've, bought really rundown houses and lived in them while we're flipping them, and we make some money that way. And then we use that money to then get ourselves into a better situation, a better house, but it's still a fixer-upper. So we're flipping
slowly,
it.
We're improving.
Slowly, yes. So at this point, I'm staying home with the kids. Zach is in real estate. We're flipping houses. And when we had our second child in Colorado, she had a lot of health issues, and she had like heart. They're called, give me 2 seconds. It's been forever since we had to deal with it, so now I can't think of it.
You'd probably think of it on any other time, I'm sure.
Rhabdomyomas.
Okay.
Yeah, when I'm on the spot, it's really hard to think of medical terms. I'm not a doctor. But essentially, she has a genetic condition. We were really scared. They thought she was going to have open heart surgery like immediately after being born. And so we had her at the Children's Hospital, and she is best case scenario, which is
that's great.
Amazing. Like we have been so lucky with that she was born and looked great. And they sent us home within 24 hours, like a normal, healthy baby, which we weren't expecting. But that kind of put that fear in us of we weren't close enough to family. We didn't have the support that we needed. His sister was there in Colorado, but she was an hour away. So it's one
Still
of those
not
things.
easy.
Yeah. My mom had to fly out to be with us when we had Ev. And so we just decided, hey, it feels like it's time to be close to family. So in 2016, we moved to Idaho, which I love. I was very happy to be back here. This has been my home for so long that it felt good to come back. And so we started a real estate, we joined a real estate brokerage here. Zach decided that he wanted to do his own thing. And so he started his own brokerage, and we owned the group real estate. And so we owned that from 2016 to 2020, I want to say.
Okay.
And so we had that, and that was so much fun. We loved owning the group real estate. The agents were just some of our very best friends, and it was wonderful. But it wasn't fulfilling something that we just felt like there was something more. And so I was a daily supporter of Pick Me Up. So Pick Me Up started in 2016.
Oh, okay.
I am not the founder.
That's good to know.
Yes. So Josh Searle is his name. He's from Shelley. He started Pick Me Up in 2016, and I loved it from day one. I have been a big supporter of Pick
Number
Me Up
one
since day
fan.
one, literally. When it was the teeny tiny little shack behind the movie theater.
Yeah, I wondered if that was the first location here in town.
Yep, that is where it all started.
Yeah, I'd go there too.
Right?
Yeah.
And do you remember those lines would get
they'd be
wrapped
so
around
long.
that parking lot? And I just had such a deep love for Pick Me Up. It was one of those things where like I clicked with the employees that were there. I'm sure they thought I was crazy, but like I loved them, It was, I don't know, it was just something about it. And so in 2018, we surprisingly had twins through an IUD.
Oh, wow.
I know. It was a big change for our family.
Through an IUD? Oh my gosh. That could be a whole other story.
Let this also be a warning to people. This is going to be full of like cautionary
tales. Yeah.
I want people to learn from me. Yeah. So I had the copper IUD, and apparently it happens all the time, but they don't tell you that when they place it.
To get pregnant on it is one thing. To get pregnant on twins with it is,
twins.
Oh my gosh.
It failed twice. But and that's a joke I like to tell. Obviously, I love my twins so much, and I wouldn't trade them for the world. And it's such a blessing to our family. 4 kids is a lot. How many kids do you have?
4.
It's so
and
many.
And my 4th was a surprise. And I swear, I know so many people. Number 4, surprise.
Out of nowhere.
Or,
3 and 4. Yes. And so this was a weird time for our family because we weren't expecting it. We had just moved into a house that then wasn't going to work for us as a family of 6 now, right? And so it put us into motion again. We were in the season of change again, where we were, we had to look for different houses and stuff. Zach was still doing real estate, but I was home with the kids, and we felt that disconnect of like we weren't working together as much anymore, where it used to be a lot of like I was helping with the brokerage, but after I had the twins,
you weren't as much.
Yeah. And I had them in November. So we were kind of stuck to the house. I didn't want to take them out anywhere. I was very paranoid. I had PTSD, yes. Yeah. But postpartum anxiety, really, really bad. And so one of the only things that I did during the day was get out. I could put my kids in my van and take them to Pick Me Up.
I tell this to my daughter all the time. I would go to Sonic every day because I lived right by Sonic.
I love a Sonic ocean water.
It's good. It's good. And so I would load up because she was 2. I had a newborn at the time, and similar. Like, I wouldn't go out, but I would get in the car. I would drive. I'd get her a little like mini French fry, and I'd get a soda like every day. And that's where my obsession started.
It feels like an out. It feels like you get out for a minute into the real world. Like I said, those poor employees, they were some of the only people I talked to during the day, you know? And so I really did feel like this bond to pick me up. I was there once, maybe twice, like depending on hard days, right? But, and it just got to the point where Zach was like, you should really ask if they're open to selling. I thought, why would Josh want to sell this? This is such a cool company. Like, he was the first in Idaho Falls to be doing a soda shop. There's no way. But I was friends with him on Facebook, and I knew that he had moved to California.
Did you know him personally?
So I knew him like through I grew up in Firth, and he grew up in Shelley, and he is older than me, but like I knew
it's a smaller town,
right?
Too,
yeah. Yep. He was a Searle, tons of Searles in Shelley. I knew, you know, cousins and stuff like that. And so we were Facebook friends, and I just reached out on Facebook and said, hey Josh, I know this is crazy. Do you have any interest in selling Pick Me Up? And he messaged me back and said, you know, I always, like, I've been asked so much and I always say no, but I do feel like it's time. Holy crap. Wow. I was like, Zach, you're kidding me. Yeah. Like this could be real. It didn't feel like that was something that could actually happen. And Zach had even floated that idea of like, well, what if we started our own soda shop? And I was like, Pick Me Up's already got it down.
Yeah.
They have the branding, they have the vibe, they have the drinks. Like, it just hits. And I didn't want to compete with that. I wanted to be a part of that. And so when Josh said he was open to it, that was like so exciting. So we went through the process. We purchased the teeny tiny shack behind the movie theater with, I think it was 8 employees when we first started. And it was a little messy at first, I will say. Like, it just, the employees were a little bit surprised at the purchase, I would say. And the manager came at us with some kind of unrealistic demands of what he wanted. And so it really was kind of me and Zach flying blind at that point.
Was it also scary to, I mean, obviously you probably knew Pick Me Up was doing well because you could
we
see
had
the
seen
lines
books and everything.
Day.
Yep.
And so, well, yeah, the books too, probably at that point, but was it still scary to take on that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's always that fear that you're going to take something that people love and they're not going to love what you decide to do with it. Right. Because everybody has their own vision of where things can go or what it should be like. I was a little bit surprised, and surprised is the wrong word. So this location at this point was being run by teenagers. And so it felt like it was being run by teenagers, right? There were several times that I would go through the line before we bought it, but we were like kind of under contract to purchase it. And I'd go through and the teenagers would be like, I don't feel like ringing it in today. It's on me. Like, just hand it to me. And so here I am being like, okay.
They don't
like,
know you're about to.
Yep. Adding this to the checklist of things to talk about. You know, hey guys, we have to charge our customers.
Yeah. Like, you can't do that.
But weirdly enough, we did have a regular customer that got so mad when we asked her to pay for her drinks.
Really?
After we purchased it. She was so used to getting free drinks from the employees.
Oh, wow.
That she was like, I'm going to go somewhere else. And I was like,
you'll have to pay.
You'll have to pay. Yes, exactly. One of those things where it's like, hold up. So it wasn't hard in the beginning, I would say, but it was just different. This is totally different than real estate, right? Oh, yeah. With real estate, we're dealing with older adults that, you know, have been in different careers and things. And this is the first job for a lot of these teenagers. And so there was a learning curve for sure, but it became my favorite thing.
Oh, yeah.
It really did. Like, it was almost instantly. And this, in these beginning days of like when we owned Pick Me Up. So this is, let me think, October of 19 is when we bought it. So
pre-COVID. I'm ready for that.
Like right before COVID. We had no idea what was coming for us.
Yeah.
But it just felt right. It felt like this was where my skills, and like, I'm very much the culture person. I'm talking to the employees. We're talking about like, you know, customer service and things like that. And Zach has the analytical side down. He's looking at systems as far as like, you know, how can we be faster? How can we be more efficient? Just little things with it. That shack was so little. It was so tiny. So there were just things that needed to be fixed. And pretty quickly after we started building, I don't know if you remember, there was like a bigger building on that same parking lot. So we built that. And about this time we started approaching other soda shops that were around that were just kind of one-off. You know, they didn't have like a big brand per se, but we would reach out to them and say, hey, do you have any interest in selling, you know? And so we actually got our Rigby store that way and our Shelley store that way. where that's how we started expanding. They were existing buildings and existing systems that we bought and turned into pick-me-ups.
Were they all soda shops, or were they all just like...
They were soda shops already. And this was when soda shops were still fairly new to the area. Not brand new, obviously. So the entire trend started. People will fight with me about this. There's so many little things, right? There have been soda shops for 100 years, right? There used
before
to be
Swig.
Before Swig. I promise. There were corner drugstores that made sodas, and people will argue with you about that. That flavored sodas have been a thing for a very long time. I agree. Chocolate Coke was a thing, right? Like floats, things like that. But Swig is really what started it. And I 100% what an incredible idea for them.
Really.
Holy moly. We were living in Utah in 2013 when I had my first, and that was really when it started creeping up. So Swig started in St. George, and we were up in like northern Utah. And I remember some of the places started doing like, oh, you can add a fresh lime to your Dr. Pepper. Try it. It's crazy. We're gonna get wild. Whoa. Yeah. I don't know if you're ready for this. But like I said, Pick Me Up was the first in Idaho Falls. And so in 2016 is when we got our first proper soda shop in Idaho Falls.
Yeah.
There used to be the one on 17th, the gas station. I think you still can, but you can go through and get like a Huckleberry Mountain Dew. You can get a flavor there.
Okay.
So not unfamiliar for the area, but it's so different when it's a proper soda shop, right? You have all the flavors, all the options.
Coke and Pepsi, like you could...
That's a big deal.
It's a big
deal. And that's kind of the behind the scenes stuff that people don't really notice. So it's funny that you say that, because there's so much work that has to go into like managing contracts like that, right? Because we are primarily a Coca-Cola company, but we do have to have in our contract that we can carry a few Pepsi flavors, and it's just very uncommon.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of fighting battles that were unprecedented in the beginning, where we're saying like, no, I promise, like, work with us and we can sell enough of everything.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to do this with us, and, trying to prove to people like this is going to grow. This is going to be a good thing for all of us. So like you said, we got hit with COVID really quickly after we bought it. COVID was crazy. It was okay for us.
Well, that's what I'm like, that was like the one place that I would continue to go. And
absolutely.
And I feel like a lot of people around me as well. Like
a lot of people felt that same way.
Shops still seem to be in business.
100%, because we were considered a restaurant and essentially, which essential, I'm absolutely
very essential.
No, I saw those moms' eyes in the drive-through lines. Like they needed that Diet Coke that day. But it was good. It was bad. It was kind of everything.
Did you still only have like the one here and then the...
Yeah. So at that point we had the Ammon store, we had Shelly, and we had Rigby. But we're still like, Zach is a very growth-minded person. I'm the one that has to kind of pump the brakes and be like, hold on, are we sure? Like, are we sure this is a good idea? So we balance each other out very well in that way, where Zach is gung-ho. And so he was the one that was really pushing that growth. And then I was the one kind of going behind and being like, hey guys, this is how you be a pick-me-up. This is how we, do things. And it was fun. It was a very like exciting adventure. But then all of a sudden, all of our costs shot up. Like through the roof.
Yeah.
We had to be providing all of our employees with masks and gloves, and which I will die on this hill. I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. The gloves did nothing. The gloves were pointless. You do better with washing your hands than putting gloves on, because my employees would have to change their gloves every 2 seconds, because it's like, okay, you're going to take the order. Then you're going to, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was a false sense of safety, I feel like.
Yeah. There was
and we put so much money into the gloves.
For sure. Yeah. I can imagine.
And we made it through. We survived. It was good. It was fine. But COVID was wild.
Yeah.
We continued to grow through there. And then let's see, I have to find my timeline. We had sold the group real estate at this point. We were all in on Pick Me Up, which was kind of scary. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. So it was doing well enough that you felt comfortable to do that. Okay.
Yes. We felt like we knew our direction well enough and confident enough that we could do it. And it just so happened at that time that somebody was looking to buy a brokerage in Idaho Falls from Boise. And so like it worked out really, really well. And it was one of those things where it's like, we kind of look back at that decision. And we're like, did we make the right decision? Yes, we did. But it still kind of like feels sad.
Yeah.
Because that was our first company. The group real estate was one of our first, like from the ground, from nothing. And something that I like pride myself on that I don't really talk about a lot, but like Zach and I are 100% like self-made. We have never ever had help.
That's really impressive.
Like really we have help and support, right? Like we have families that love us and support us, but everything we've done has been 100% just us just winging it. And like I said, failing upwards. We're learning as we go, and it's worked out well for us. And I don't know if some of those decisions had gone different, it would be a very different story now. But like, how lucky, how blessed are we, right? In 2022, Zach and I made the decision. We were at an interesting point in our life where we had just had like a faith transition, I guess you could call it. And Pick Me Up was doing well. We had just put a new CEO in place, and we felt really adventurous and felt like, hey, let's go spread Pick Me Up across the country. Let's make this nationwide. And so we moved to Texas. We moved outside of Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
And the whole goal was to take Pick Me Up there. And that was one of the things that I look back now that I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily call it a mistake, but we learned a lot.
A learning experience.
It did not go how we thought it did. Turns out that getting a lease on a drive-through in Texas is much harder than it is here.
Really?
Well, we were just competing against like national brands,
Yeah.
right? We're competing against Dunkin' Donuts. Dutch Bros was going in super heavy right there. Swig was starting to go in to Texas.
Yeah.
And so we went and we learned, and it just didn't pan out the way we wanted to. And so we did come back. And that was, I would say, not a low point for us, but one of those like,
dang it.
yeah, one of the first times that we really took a leap and it didn't pay out the way we thought it would.
How far did you get in that process? Did it stop pretty quickly?
So we were in Texas for 6 months. We went and we looked at a lot of buildings in Texas. We were in all sorts of little towns around us looking for any lease that we could get. And they were just either too expensive or, again, like we're an unknown name coming in. They don't know what Pick Me Up is.
Yeah.
And even mixed soda is kind of an unfamiliar thing there. I'd have to explain it to people like we're a Sonic on steroids and it's only the drinks.
Now you could say, have you seen The Secret Lives of Mormon
I
Wives?
know. Now I can be like, I'm sure you've heard of Swig.
Yeah.
But it just, that was one experience that we had that was like, oh, dang it. All right. And we came back home and that was for the best. I'm really, really glad that we didn't try to like force
Keep going it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you try something and it doesn't work and you have to just be okay with that. You know, you can't keep forcing it in a certain direction as much as you want to be successful.
Yeah.
And so we came back home and we've just focused really hard on keeping Pick Me Up. You know, our culture and our customer service is like really what we pride ourselves on. And so we're currently sitting at 11 locations right now.
Wow.
And that number has fluctuated. We've been higher, we've been lower.
Because I know you had one in like St. George area, right?
We did. Yep.
Did you just close that one down?
We had one in Hurricane, Utah. Yeah. So that one we briefly tried franchising, which again, this is another thing where
a
it's
new
like,
area.
Yeah, like you have to try new things to see if it'll work.
Of course.
And so we tried franchising. We opened it up for franchising, and I learned pretty quickly that Pick Me Up is my baby, and it's very, very hard for me to let go of control. Even in a situation where you feel like, you know, they know what I expect of them as a Pick Me Up, but I felt disconnected.
It didn't feel like yours.
Yes, we have these stores where I'm like, I don't know these employees. I don't know, you know, that what they're being taught as far as like customer service and things like that. And my franchisees, for the record, we're all wonderful people.
Yeah.
I love them so much, but it just felt too disconnected for me personally. I know a lot of companies do that and are very successful with that, but for me, Pick Me Up, like what makes it so special is that you can go to any Pick Me Up and it feels the same, or it should. Like all of my locations have a different personality to them, or like a different vibe, you know, but you can count on getting a delicious drink. You can count on, you know, the customer service being top notch, them being friendly, things like that. So we actually ended up purchasing all of the franchises back.
Okay.
We brought them back into corporate owned. And so the one down in Hurricane, Utah, it's really, really hard to manage from far away. You know, especially again, these are young employees.
They are.
You know, we can help them as much as we can from afar, but it felt disconnected. And so we did end up selling that one to somebody local, which I'm so excited about for them. It's some veterans that were looking into opening a soda shop anyways. And so
that worked for them as well.
it worked perfectly. So it's not a Pick Me Up anymore, but it is locally owned, and I am rooting for them so hard. You know what I mean? And so even though that felt like a step backwards, and it's so funny that you say like that we're talking about this, because I was just talking to my friend about how in business it's hard because sometimes we take things as bigger failures than what they actually are. Like I'm still moving forward in my other stores, but closing that one felt like
a failure.
I cried hard about that one. It felt like I was failing the employees. It felt like I wasn't, you know, doing everything I could to keep it as a pick-me-up. But at a point, you have to know when to say when.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like you're failing in everything else. Like
that's the hard part though, is like one failure feels like the biggest, like, you know, thing to me.
Yeah.
And it's hard to count my successes when I have that.
I feel like that's human nature though. It's kind of like the same, like hard. You can get 1,000 compliments, one negative comment, and you're like,
and that's all you focus on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's so hard. But that's probably the biggest lesson, like through all of this, is that it's okay to let go of things sometimes and to put your energy elsewhere.
Yeah.
But it's still hard.
So, you have 11 locations. Mm-hmm. Where are they? Are they all here?
So yes, Southeast Idaho is, so we've got them. Twin Falls, Pocatello, Blackfoot, Shelley, lots in Idaho Falls and Ammon area, Rigby, Rexburg.
Okay. Yeah.
So kind of scattered about.
I didn't know about the Twin Falls one. I've gone to the one in Pocatello quite a few times, so I'm familiar with that one as well.
And we love all of the, like, the communities that we're in. It's so special because it's like each store has kind of integrated itself into the culture of its community, which is so fun to see.
Yeah. Now, going aside, I love talking about the pick-me-up, but then you also started Sorted.
We did,
which I did not even realize that was yours. And I think that it's such a great business. When we had our washer.
Oh no.
Or our dryer, one of the two, died on us right before we were about to leave on a 2-week vacation.
It's always at the most inconvenient times.
And I was like, what am I supposed to do? And Sorted had just
Oh my
started.
gosh, did you use us?
Yes, I did. And I was
that.
like a lifesaver. And then one of my best friends had a baby. I'm like, I know the perfect gift. I'm like, oh my gosh, you need this. Like, it's so great. So how did that one start?
Sorted was born out of necessity. So Sorted is our newest company. It's been around for about a year now. And it is a wash fold service for families, individuals, businesses, literally anybody that needs to do laundry. Yeah. Born out of my hatred for laundry. I hate laundry so bad. And with 4 kids, it's constant.
It is. I'm like, I just did the laundry. How do I already have 3 loads today?
100%. And my kids being like, Mom, where's my this? Where's my this? Yeah. And we had gotten to a point where our system, and it's not even a system really, but we had 4 laundry baskets in our room, in my bedroom.
Are you in my house?
But I could get it washed, I could get it dried, and then I could get it sorted into their baskets. But that was as far as
this is literally me. I like we have the.
It was never folded, never hung.
Like, go dig through your basket. You'll
100%. Kids were in my room every single morning, digging through, looking for stuff. We're trying to match up socks and stuff. And it just got overwhelming.
Yeah. And you want your room back.
Yes. And I want my kids not in my room digging through baskets, please. And so this, again, is one that Zach was like, I know we can do this. I know we can do this. And I'm like, I just don't know. You know, I'm the anxious one. He's the goer. Like, it's fine. It works out really well. Yeah. But again, it's one of those things that you just have to do it. And so we converted the very back room of my West Side pick-me-up. So if you're in Idaho Falls, it's the West Idaho Falls by the roundabout. We've got one like on Utah.
Oh, okay.
Ave. Yeah. And so we had a back room that we weren't really doing anything with. And we converted it into a laundry facility and just got 4 like stackable washers and dryers and started. We just said, okay, here we are. Let us do your laundry. Yeah. And so at the beginning, we did a lot of like free loads, like, hey, try us out. Let's, let us show you what we do.
Did you use like the local influencers around? I'm like, who can I even think of? But I feel like that's probably how I saw you originally, was somebody else.
I was posting in like Life in Idaho Falls, like on Facebook pages and like the Idaho Falls Moms Facebook page. Yeah. And in there, at one point I said, hey, I'm looking for local micro influencers. I just want you to try my service and post about it. And that actually did help quite a bit. Yeah. Just showing people like, hey, it's a legitimate service. You're going to get your clothes back. And laundry is such a weirdly personal thing. And I understand that. Yeah. I get it. So for me personally, like, I don't send my laundry, but that's just because like now I'm the boss in this situation, right? So I feel like that kind of blurs a professional line if I'm sending my underwear to be washed by my employees, but my kids. So like, and what I love about Sorted is it works for every situation. So myself, I am kind of a type A person where like I want to make sure that everything is, in the right spot and whatever. And so the whole thing about Sorted, and the biggest like cool thing that I like, is that we sort it out by size when we bring it back to you. We're not just folding it and throwing it all in one big pile and saying, okay,
figure it out.
Here you go. Yeah.
Because that's like one of the worst parts, then having to
it's
figure
going to get
out.
unfolded immediately when your
is.
kids are looking at stuff. And so we really take the time to make sure that each person in the family is getting their own stuff back. And that was so important to me that I could just have the bag of folded clothes and hand it to my kid and say, go put it away. And I will say, it doesn't stop all the tantrums about laundry. They still cry that they have to put their laundry away, which is, I'm like, are you kidding me?
I know, it's like the biggest thing. I'm like, you just have to put it in the drawer. I've done everything.
Folded. It's perfect. Just put it away. It was born out of necessity, and I could see that there were other moms like me that also hate laundry and dads. Like, I shouldn't put that on just moms. It's an everybody chore in my house, and we were just sick of it. And so we started it, and it's been going great.
You've moved facilities now, right?
Yeah. Yes. So we bought an old laundromat. It was Maple Street Laundry. And how much detail do you want about this part?
All of it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we bought Maple Street Laundry, which is like the cutest old laundromat on Maple Street in Idaho Falls. So it's close to downtown. And it was in rough condition. It had been loved for many, many years. Well used. Yes. And so we tore everything out of there, and the project became a much bigger hassle than what we had imagined. There were a lot of setbacks there. We ended up actually kind of getting hosed over by our contractor.
Oh, really?
It got very messy, which was unfortunate because I had such big dreams for it. As soon as I walked in there, I was like, I can see it, right? Like, I had this beautiful vision of like black and white checkerboard floors with the
Very
pink on the
cute.
walls, very like 1950s kind
Retro-ish.
of retro,
Yeah.
but in like a very like female empowerment way.
Yes.
That's like, you don't have to do your laundry. Look at you being a boss and sending your laundry out to get done.
Yeah.
And it just didn't pan out the way that I wanted it to. And so even now I kind of still have hard feelings about our building, but it's not the building's fault. It's just the circumstances around it. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but again, it's functional. It's running. It's working. We have an awesome team of employees that keep it going. And it's hard to look over that it's not perfect.
Yeah.
But it is going. It is doing. And done is better than perfect.
Do you have repeat people that use it all the time?
We absolutely do. We have people that once a week they get their laundry picked up. We have a lot of we've gotten into commercial spaces where we're doing lash techs or, estheticians, hairstylists that need to use towels a lot. So that's super helpful for them because they're not having to run back and forth and do it. And we have a lot of one-off people that it's a gift for a new mom or somebody's washer dryer broke. There's so many reasons that Sorted is helpful.
Really?
It's good for everyone.
And there was nothing else like it, right? When you started it.
There is one other company in town that does a wash and fold service, but it didn't encapsulate everything that I wanted it to be. It was one of those things that I looked at the service and I thought they're doing a great job, but I have ideas too. And I will say, we reached out to the company and we had even talked about maybe, us taking over operations or something, and it just didn't work out. And I wish them the best of luck. They're still doing it and they're doing great. And I try to live by an abundance mindset because soda, laundry, literally anything that I could do, there's somebody else doing it too. There's nothing that's 100% unique to me, but I think there's enough for everybody.
That's that. I'm like, even starting this podcast, I'm like, there are a billion podcasts out there,
but there's somebody that wants to listen to yours.
There could be another one.
There absolutely is. And so it's just one of those things where it's we have different offerings. We do things a little bit differently, and people will find the one that works for them. Yeah. Right. And so
everybody can succeed here.
Exactly. Yeah. No, there is room for everybody. And that's, I think, one of the things that gets me is people are always saying there's so-and-so that, for competition. I wish them nothing but the best.
Yeah. I go to all of them. Okay. I like them all.
Everybody has a different style, a different offering, a different something. Right. And especially with the soda shops, it's you're going to get a different experience at each, and that's fine. That's great. Yeah. You're going to pick your favorite, and that's
even the same soda can taste a little bit differently depending on wherever you go. Yep. So there's a preference for everybody. And
absolutely.
Yeah. What would be your takeaway for somebody else that wanted to start a business for somebody? What would you say?
I want to say just be bold and do it. And I realize that's funny because I'm the one that's always oh, pump the brakes, hold on. But you just have to believe in your idea enough to get it off the ground. My mantra is done is better than perfect. Yes. Which is so hard for me because I want everything to be perfect so badly.
Yes. As we're sitting here at my kitchen table, I was so much I don't want to start unless I have my chairs and my all the things that 100%. I was I don't have to do that. But it took a bit for me to actually push record and just start going. Yeah.
You just have to do it. Right. And so that's going back to Sorted. Like, it's still not perfect. And I'm going to be so real. It doesn't get the amount of attention that it should from me right now, because just where I'm at in life with, you know, obligations everywhere and stuff, Sorted has kind of taken a backseat, only in the way of like, I haven't marketed it super well.
Yeah.
But it's a great service. It's doing well. I have an awesome team of people that are there. And so it's going.
Yeah.
So as much as I want to say like, oh, but it's not, you know, I don't do this, or I don't post on Instagram enough, people don't know the name enough. Like, so it's there. It's alive. It's a business that we created from nothing.
That is still running.
That is still, that's wild.
It's so cool for me. And it makes me so excited to see businesses that are actually like succeeding and thriving.
100%.
It's so great. I also have seen you guys doing your Rolling for Kindness.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
It has been so fun. I'm like,
we've got a lot of irons in the fire right now, but it's kind of how Zach and I just run our life. We always got to be busy.
I love it though. And so, I'm going to put this one out next week. I'm like, I'm going to talk about that. It'll be good. It's Christmas time. So just like explain what you're doing.
Yes. So this all started. Okay. So my husband, Zach, has an online presence. He does what's called Roll for Soda. I don't know if you've seen these.
I saw the Roll for Kindness, and then I clicked on the page and saw the Roll for Soda. I'm like, oh, this is an interesting.
So for most of his followers, it went the other way. They were there for Roll for Soda, which is where, I'm actually the one that started it.
Oh, you are?
Yes. I got
Put a
bored
plug
of
in
it
there
though. And Zach was like, you got to keep going. So a few years ago, there's this trend on TikTok, and it started with a guy rolling for sandwiches. And I was like, I can do that. Yeah. I've got so many options. Combinations. Yeah. Like, this is endless, right? We could do. And so I kind of started it as like a funny little, like, oh, you know, Roll for Soda, and did a few episodes. And then I got sick of it, because that's who I am as a person.
So Zach took over.
Zach kept saying, hey, are you going to revisit Roll for Soda? Are you going to do this again? Because I was just posting it on Pick Me Up's page as just kind of like a once in a while, like, look what kind of funny drink we can make. Yeah. And he was like, there's so much potential here. And I said, go for it. Take it. It's yours, boo-boo.
And he took it.
He did. He
rolled with it. If you
I love a good fun. He's got like 1.6 million followers or something across all of his platforms now. Like, it has taken off, and it's fun. And I love watching the interaction that people have in the comments with Zach, because they love him. And I'm like, I get that though, because I love him so deeply, but it's so fun to watch people kind of discover like what a good person he is, how fun he is. He's kind of a drier sense of humor, and so I think it appeals to that like kind of nerdy side of him. and people love it. And so I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, he has this platform, what can we do with it? Because yes, Rolling for Sodas is super fun, but there's got to be more. There's got to be something else. Yeah. And so it seemed natural to take it and do a Roll for Kindness situation, where I said, hey, let's just write down acts of kindness that we can do easily within the community, and we'll ask for donations and use the donations, right? Zach and I have, from the very first minute that we got married, have always wanted to be like philanthropic and do good.
Well, you wanted to start a podcast about good
things in the world. Yes, podcast was another thing that, you know, went by the wayside.
Yeah, I forgot that was pre-recording that we talked about that.
We did start a podcast, but Amy only made it like 4 episodes. Oops. But it just seems so natural. So Pick Me Up as a company has 3 pillars that we stand on. It's pick yourself up, pick each other up, pick up the customer.
Love it.
It encompasses everything that we want to be, right? We want everybody to be their best selves. We want them to be good to other people. And we want our customers to come through and feel like they've had a genuine pickup in their day. And so I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's do acts of kindness. And it's kind of taken off. We've only done 6 episodes, and
I was like, I want another one. I need more.
I need more. It's been so fun. It's filling something in me that I knew that I wanted to do it, but I didn't realize how much. Yes. How much my heart needed this. Because it's nice to feel like I'm doing something that's making a difference.
And I was saying like, oh, for Christmas, but actually this can go on. It's not just like the Christmas season. It can be all
ideally
the time.
It's forever.
Yeah.
Ideally, I would love for that to turn into like a legitimate not-for-profit situation where we can continue doing that.
Yeah.
Zach has a big goal right now. He feels very passionately about like paying off student lunch debt, just because he never wants anybody to feel like they...
Yeah, I saw that on one of the lists of things. Yes. Yeah.
And so we had kind of put it on there as like one of our general roles, and each episode that we're doing, we're spending between like $500 and $1,000. I called district the other day to be like, hey, just give me a ballpark of what your debt looks like right now.
Oh my gosh.
$23,000 is their ballpark. And so it wasn't feasible to do that in just a normal episode. And so we have started just kind of collecting on the side.
Hopefully
separately.
add up.
Exactly. We're going to keep it in a pot. Zach has put his beard on the line for this.
Oh yes.
Which his beard is kind of his personality on TikTok now, because he clips his mic to it.
Yeah,
like, it's just
noticed that, which I think is so funny.
I don't even know how he started that. It was just kind of like a random thing he did.
I didn't
one
notice
day.
it at the beginning, and then one time I was watching one of the reels.
Oh, once you see it,
I was like, oh, it's right there on the beard.
Yeah, it kind of dangles on his beard.
Yeah.
And so he said, if we make if we raise $25,000, I'll shave my beard off on a live. Which
wow,
I love his beard.
I was gonna say it.
I love
when
it
you
a lot.
remove
It's
decrease in age about 20 years.
My kids might cry.
Yeah, you might cry.
I really might.
But it grows back.
And so I think what we're going to do, this is still everything that Zach and I do, I will say, we kind of like put it out there and then run towards it, if that makes sense.
I love it.
Like, because if I don't speak it into existence first, it's easy to say like, never mind.
Yeah. Put it back on the back burner.
But if I say it to somebody, if I say, hey, I'm going to do this, then it's burned into my brain until it's done. Right. Like I won't not do it if I've publicly said I will. And so, I think what we're going to turn it into is a like kind of competition between donations where it's either shave the beard or save the beard. And so it will all go to the same pot. It will all go to raising the same $25,000. But then the fate of the beard is decided by the donations.
Maybe I'll add a little bit more. Just
right. I'm putting all my extra change in for the save the beard. But I think it's just something that we feel so passionately about.
Yeah. Has the content creation part of this been easy for you?
No.
Okay.
Not even a little bit.
That is, I've said it on this podcast. I'm like, I am not a content creator. I mean, this is content. So technically, but social media world, I'm like, I consume it to create it is a whole other level.
It is insane.
Yeah.
You learn so much. You have to be very consistent. There's certain platforms that really like it when you post at the same time. There's other platforms that, it doesn't really matter when you post or how much you post. We've learned that, for example, on TikTok, if you post multiple times in a day, so his roll for soda, he'll post it in the morning around 9:30 a.m. is like what he aims for. Anything else that day will fall flat on its face.
Interesting.
Like nothing else will get pushed out. But if he's posting on Facebook, he can post as many times as he wants and it will still kind of make its way out. Right. And so it's just a lot. And especially as we own 2 businesses, we've got 4 kids.
Yeah.
We've really had to work to like make it fit into our lives without overtaking our lives.
For the soda shop part, because like, do they post on like content themselves, or do you help post content
for Pick Me Up?
Yes.
So
that was hard for me to get out for some reason.
You're good.
Whoa.
I knew what you were saying.
Yeah.
So I have the most amazing person in the world. Her name's Kenzie Hyde. I love her so much. So she was formerly our regional manager. And she actually decided to go to nail school, which she is wicked talented at. Go look up Claws by Ken's.
They're very cute.
These ones are by my friend Alyssa. I have a dedicated nail girl, my best friend. Like, we've been friends since high school. So I go to Alyssa, but if you are looking for a nail girl, Claws by Ken's in Idaho Falls, she is incredible. She's at Vogue right now, but like she's going to blow up.
Okay, yeah.
She's going to be the next like hot nail girl. I'm so proud of her. She does my marketing for me though.
That's great.
So she was doing that as regional manager, and now she's taken that on as kind of like a side role as she's doing this other stuff. So I don't have to worry about Pick Me Up's marketing too much. And Pick Me Up, where we're pretty regional, everybody kind of knows who we are.
Yeah.
We're not currently in a growth phase. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
We're just posting about drinks to try, new menu items, things like that. I think content creation is just harder in a way of like personally for me and Zach, because I think it feels so weird to say. It's one of those things where it's like, I know I could be successful if I started putting myself out there, if I started just like yapping at a camera.
Yeah. I can yap all day long, really.
But I can't. It's almost like I know that if I step into that, I'm committed. And then I'm going, because even I had started kind of an offshoot on my own TikTok of Fix Me Up, where like I would take Zach's roll for sodas and make it into something that you could actually drink. And it was super fun and it was getting engagement.
Yeah.
But it feels like such a commitment. It feels like I have to be making these. I have to, and again, at a certain time during the day, it has to be posted for people to really see it. Like there's so many details that go into like really being successful on social media.
Yeah.
Anybody can post, right? But like if you want to grow and if you want to be like for real about it, it's hard work.
Yeah, it is.
Zach gets up at 5 a.m. to go make those roll for sodas.
Like it seems so easy, but then when you actually think about it, you're like, no, it's impressive. The people that do it and are
hats off to people that
Yeah.
really like are fully immersed in that. It's hard for me to find a balance, and it's hard for me to, how do I word it? To put myself out there in a way that feels very vulnerable. I know that's what people connect with.
Yeah.
But it's scary.
It is.
Mean comments. And I know they say don't read comments. I can't not read comments.
Like, what if there's a good one? I want to read that one.
What if somebody's telling me I'm pretty today? Like, I need
Really
that
like
part.
my outfit.
Somebody yesterday was like, I need your skincare routine. And I was like, oh my gosh. Nobody's ever asked me that before. But and I think that's where my fear is like, I don't want to get sucked into the needing validation, but also like being brought down by people that are negative. And so I've kind of kept myself a little bit further back than Zach has. I'm very proud of him.
Yeah. It's great.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
And how fun that you two work together seemingly
oh my gosh
so well. Like,
we're together pretty much all day, every day.
And if you can do that, that is an accomplishment in
it
and
doesn't
of
work
itself.
for everybody. I know that, but we are very lucky to get to hang out pretty much all the time.
Well, this has just been a joy for me. This has been so fun.
Yes.
I'm like, well, you said so many things. I'm like, how have we not met in life? I'm sure I could just like keep talking, keep asking questions, but I will let you go.
You're the best. Thank you so much.
She's the best and brought me a soda, you guys. So
go get a pick me up today.
Go
celebrate.
Get a pick me up. Yeah, 1 or 2. Okay. You have a great day, Amy.
You too. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. Bye. Wasn't she just so fun? I know some of my listeners don't live in Southeast Idaho. You may not know what pick me up drinks is, but I'm sure you're aware of what a soda shop is at this point in time, even if you're not a soda drinker yourself. I personally have always been interested in what it would be like to own one of these soda shops. Say soda shop 5 times fast. It's hard. Anyway, and so it was just nice to get to talk to her, see how it came to be, kind of what it's like. I would imagine it would be so fun. And obviously I would love to have a soda shop, so I'm glad that they have that. If you're interested, you can go to Pick Me Up Zach's profile, look at the Rolling for Kindness, Rolling for Soda. It really is quite fun to watch. They just dropped another episode of it. And like I said in the episode, I want more episodes. So go, you can donate to that and join in on some of the kindness that they are giving here in our town. If you yourself are a business owner and would love to come on the podcast and tell us how your business came to be, I would love to hear it. I think it's so interesting, and I always root for anybody who starts a business. I know it is not an easy task. If you also just have any other story that could be interesting and you would like to be on the podcast, please, I would love to have you. Again, you can go to my Instagram, Sippin' on Stories Podcast, and DM me, submit a story there, email me, sippinonstoriespodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to have you on the podcast. All right, Sipsters, don't forget, message me your special Christmas memories so that we can hopefully have a special Christmas episode. Until next week, bye, Sipsters.